Now let's talk about form. So I will remove these tables and we accidentally remove the body tag, end of the body tag. Okay, now let me set up this correctly and let's remove this unnecessary stuff. Okay, now let's create a form. We have the form tag to create a form, and let's open and close form tag. And here the form tag have two attributes. First one is action and the second one is method. I will make the method as post. And now let's talk each attributes. So action, so this is the address on the form. It tells the browser where to send the data when the user hits submit button. Usually this is the URL to your server API. And next we have method. The method show how we send it. We have two main choices. The first is get. Get is send data visible in the URL bar. We use this only for searching or fetching things, not to send sensitive data. Because if we send sensitive data via get, it will show up on the URL. And then we have post. Post is packs the data securely inside the request body. We use this for password, payments, or creating a new account. So when we send data via post, it will not show on the URL and it will send inside the request body. Okay, let's add text field. Here let's create a simple contact form. So I will create name. So the text field will be start with input, and here we have to add the type. The type will be text, and this is a void tag. Here I will say name as the first name, like this. So we just created the input field or text field type text. So let's create the second one. I will just add input type. When I select the type, here we have lot of types. So if we have to send email, we have email type. If we plan to send number, we have number type. If we have to send telephone, we have tel type or telephone type. So each and every type will have their own behaviors. As an example, let's say email type for this, and let's make name as email. And now here we have the email, which means we have to add @ before we send the data. If we don't add @ or if we don't add valid email address, the browser will give us error. So we can test it when we add the button. Let's also add another input, and this type will be tel. And here let's add the name as phone. Okay, now this should be telephone number. If we try to add test and try to submit, it will not do anything. And let's add another type as input type number, and here name, let's make name as age. And here we can't even add text, we only can add numbers like 1 2 3 4 like this. So we have to always pick the most specific type. Let's close this number input like this. Okay, and next let's add a button. So there is two methods to add a button. The first method is input type will be button, or we can make the type as submit, and name will be, let's make it as submit. And also we have to add value tag. The value attribute will be, let's make it as submit. And here we go, here we have the submit button. So when I click on the submit button, the form will be submitted. But in our case, I didn't add the URL or API to action, which means our button will not go anywhere. Okay, now this is not user friendly at all. We can add labels. So let's add label, and in here I will add your first name. And here we go, here we have label for this input type. For labels and the text field, we can have explicit linking. So let's do it. To do that, we need to give ID for the input field, I will make id as first name, name like this, and on the label I will add attribute called for, and here I will add the for as first name, which is the id of this input type. So now if we check here and click on the name or click on the label, it will focus our cursor inside the input text field. And let's add label for email too. So let's make it as label for email, and let's add the label name as email, and here we have to set id. Without id, if we click on the label, nothing happen, but if we add id as email, and now if we click on the email, it will focus on the text field. And then here we have label called, here for will be font, and here let's make this your email, your email, here your font like this. And then let's add label for age, and this will be your age. And we forget to add id to font, so we'll add id font. And let's make some spaces, because without spaces it's hard to understand. For the age, let's make id as age like this. And for submit button, we don't need to add any labels, so here we have perfect label. Also, there is a great example that we can demonstrate this, so I will just create a checkbox. So I will create input field, input, and this type will be checkbox, and here I will add the name. The name will be subscribe. Oh, let's make name as agree, and here we have the checkbox, and on here I will just create a span tag, and I will add text like agree to submit form like this. So now if we click on this text, nothing happened, but I need to tick this when I click on the form. Let's make this as this, so that it will be look like this. Also, if I add breakpoint br to break this, it will be show like this, but let's keep it like this for now. And to fix this, so if we want to make this checkbox selected, even if we click on the text, what we can do is we can make this as a label, and label for the checkbox we have to add the id to checkbox, id agree, and here for will be agree, and close the label tag like this. Now if I click on this label, it will just tick the checkbox. And also we can wrap this label around the wrap this label around the input field like this, and it will also work the same. And we can do the same for those text fields like this. And yeah, I will keep it as the normal way like this. Okay, pretty good. Okay, now if I just click on submit button, it will submit without any validation, but we have browser validations. So let's say it's required user to fill the first name, email, age, and the agree to submit button before we send the form. So we have an attribute called, here we have an attribute called required. So I will add required attribute, and now if I try to submit, it says please fill in this field, which is this is a required field now. And also we can, I will this, and here we can add the required attribute for the email. Now let's say first name is John, and now if I try to submit we need to add the email. So I will add email like John. When I do it, it say please include and add in the email address and that's because the validation check this is a validate or valid email or not. So if we add at, it is still say it's incomplete, so I will add mail, and now it's good to go. So now which the age should be also required, so I will make it as required. Then again John, again it's a add age, so that's how we do the browser validation. And also here for the agree we have to add required like this. Okay, now think I add John as the name, sorry, John, and on email John at mail .com, and I will add age as 255, which is not possible. And to fix this we can add min and max value. So here I can add -5 or -50, and this submit will be work. But if we add min and max value, it will no longer work. So I will add min or minimum value as, let's make it as like 1, and the max will be the max age, let's make it like 110 like this. So now here if I try to add -50, and let's use text like this, and here it say please enter number, and if I add 120, it is still say value must be less than or equal to 110 or 110. So there are a lot of attributes to do validations. So if you go to Google and search HTML5 form validations, here you can see the validation list of validations. So you can find the validations by reading their articles, or you can ask from AI. Okay, also we can add placeholder and make more UX or user experience to our form. So I will add the placeholder. The placeholder will be EG or EX, example like John Doe like this, and email will be, let's make another placeholder, and email will be name@mail.com. so we can add placeholders like this, and here we can add the phone number format if we want, and that's the benefit of placeholder. Also we have text area to create text area. So let's create text area like this, save it. Okay, here we have the text area, and here I will add the label, type the label and press tab. This is the shortcut. The text area will be message, and here I will be add the name as message, and also id as message. Okay, here also if we want we can add placeholder. The placeholder will be your message, or enter your message. Actually here we have to make this 0 space to show it like this, and inside here we can add value like hello. So it will be the text, so it will work as the value of this text area. So now let's keep it as no value like this, and this is the form. Also we can create buttons like button. We can use the button tag to create button, click me or something like this, and also we can add the type of the button. We have button type, reset type, submit type. Let's make this as reset, and let's clear. So now let's add some text on like this, and click on clear. The form data will be clear. Okay, there are more attributes and more text. Will just play with the form and you will learn more.